All right. All right. All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, guys. How you doing? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to Coffee with Tim Black. I got some coffee, so this counts. How you doing? I want to make sure everybody can hear me because we have a new system. We got a computer, and I was trying to get the bugs out of it yesterday, trying to get it all set up, and I just want to make sure audio's cool. So let me go check people before we get started, just to make sure that my platforms are good and people can hear us. So I got Facebook in the house. Facebook, can you hear me? Noah. Sure, Chris, can you hear me? I'm going to wait until I get a response. The delay. Bruce Linnell. I'm going to wait till we get a response, man. See how long it is? Dolores Pierce says yes. Thank you, Dolores. Thank you, Dolores. I appreciate you, sis. Now I'm going to go to YouTube. Now we go to YouTube, y'all. Okay, YouTube. Okay. Eli's in the house. Hey, Eli, how you doing, man? Thank you for doing the moderation, man. I appreciate you, Eli. Yep. Coming in clearly. Christina says we're coming in loud and clear. That big guy, Val, said he's got me. Thank you, Val. I appreciate you, homie. Loud and clear on YouTube. Sue Richards. Run, Tim, run. Ali says, run, Tim, run. Run, Tim, run. That's what he said. Huh. I need to run. Oh, you mean for office? Or you mean run the show? Or you mean run around the block? I need to do all three. You know, at some point, some of us who do a lot of complaining about politics, going to have to consider throwing our hats in the ring because, you know, revolution is done by the revolutionaries, not just by the talkers. So we try to do all we can. Maybe we should run for office, or maybe we should really get involved with a campaign. Okay, guys. Here we go. Tonight's tonight. The debates are now getting started. And, you know, I was reading about this, and it's crazy what I just read. It's amazing. I don't know which entity it was, but one of these mainstream media, corporate media entities said that now the race finally starts. Someone said the race now officially begins, meaning everything that happened up until this was just like preseason. I got any football fans out there? Everything that's up to this point was preseason in the minds of a lot of folks, and now the season begins. And it's amazing because we had people asking candidates questions before the season even started, like, so when you going to drop out? When you going to drop out was like what a horrible question to ask someone before even the first debate. They qualify for the debate, you ask them if they're going to drop out. Okay, so let me first, before we get into predictions, before we get into any ranting, before any of that, any complaining, let's give people the information about the debates so that they know exactly what's going on. All right, so it starts at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch it on NBC, MSNBC, and Telemundo. You can also catch it via live stream on the NBC News website. Okay, so one more time. MSNBC, NBC, Telemundo, and the NBC website. Now, we all know due to the large number of candidates that are in the race, they had to split us up into groups. And tonight's debates, let's get into who's going to be there, right? So we know where, we know when, 9 p.m., we know where to get it, right? Online, MSNBC, NBC, Telemundo, or the website. It'll probably be streamed somewhere on YouTube, but it's tough, man. I remember one year, guys, I tried to stream it, it was a debate, and they got mad at me, so mad at me, that I got a copyright strike, for streaming it on YouTube. It was a debate. It wasn't like there was it wasn't monetized. No way to monetize that for me. I just wanted people to see it. For a whole month, I couldn't live stream, so I'll never do that again. Just because I live streamed the debate, never again. So unfortunately, guys, I can't do anything about it if you can't get it. But what I will do is I will have a post show. I'm gonna do a post show and talk about what happened during the debates. Not exactly the same thing, but hey, okay. So who's going to be in the debates, right? Well, first of all, this is crazy, right? So the debates are set up this way. The headliner tonight is Elizabeth Warren, because Elizabeth Warren has been soaring, right? She's been soaring in the polls, so this is the way that they've determined the order, right? So Elizabeth's going to be at the head of the table. Next to Elizabeth Warren will be Beto O'Rourke. He's polling the next highest, Beto O'Rourke. And then it goes on from there. Cory Booker. On the other side of Warren, Elizabeth Warren, will be Cory Booker. Then there will be Amy Klobuchar. Then there will be former Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, Julian Castro. And they're going to be, then they skip down, they say the Representative Tim Ryan and Tulsi Gabbard, Washington Governor Jay Inslee, former Representative John Delaney, and New York Mayor Bill de Blasio. So that's your list of who will be at the debate, who will be in this first round of debates. So I think we've covered like the basis of basically what to expect tonight. What to expect tonight is, a field of people really chomping at the bit. Now I can kind of loosen up a little bit and tell you what I think is going to happen. These are my predictions, right? I predict that Elizabeth Warren will take no chances tonight. She doesn't have to. Last time I checked, according to some polls, and this is only for people that believe polls, right? But if you believe the polls, she's polling at like 13%, and Beto O'Rourke's polling at like 4%, depending on what poll you look at. So if you're Elizabeth Warren, your job is to do a Floyd Mayweather. That's it. Floyd Mayweather. A lot of people don't like his attitude, his arrogance, his persona. To make people buy tickets was to make you hate him. He succeeded. But his job was always to avoid getting hit. So Elizabeth Warren, her job will be to avoid getting hit, because she's got no reason to stick her neck out. There's nothing to obtain here, really. And some people were saying this was a negative for Elizabeth Warren. I think it's a positive for Elizabeth Warren, because, if she was on the stage with Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden, it would be more contentious for her. Who has the most to gain? Everybody else. Everyone else has something to gain, has a position to gain here. Of course, I'm looking for Tulsi Gabbard to come out very strong. She is the most when it comes to foreign relations, she is the one. Military experience, military background, definitely her carrying card, she's the card carrying member with the most experience in military, and she has been the most outspoken about military and what we do internationally when it comes to Middle East and Russia. So I think that's what she stays at. I think that's what she focuses on. Of course, hey man, I'm just Tim Black. I would love to see Tulsi Gabbard kind of break out into more domestic policy stuff. But as I said in the video, and I'm glad it seems that Tulsi Gabbard adopted this or listened when I put in the video that I thought that foreign policy is domestic policy, when you consider the fact that if you don't spend all this money on wars, it's hard to explain where all the money went. So some of that money is going to have to go domestically. Even to my most strident conservatives, if all the money is not spent on war, wouldn't you be expecting to get some of that money back and see that money applied domestically? I think you would. So now Beto O'Rourke is in a weird position because, well, he was doing very well a couple of months ago when this thing first kicked off, when it first started making news, and then he fell flat. So I'm looking for Beto O'Rourke to do everything he can to get back in this thing. Just because I'm not a fan of the Keanu Reeves of the Democratic primary debates, Keanu Reeves, the Captain Kirk of the Democratic primary debates, doesn't mean other people aren't. Obviously, people do. There are a lot of people who thought Beto O'Rourke was a shining star. He was a fresh face. He was something new. And people were gravitating to this guy, jumping up on tables, holding impromptu town halls, and talking about all the things he wants to talk about changing America, making America something bigger for us to get together. And by doing that, we become something more. We become something huge, better, bigger. I asked my wife, I said, wife, why do I talk so dramatically when I speak? So anyway, who else? Well, Cory Booker. Cory Booker's another one. You know, Cory Booker, he's New Jersey senator. You would kind of expect Cory Booker to do better in this race, but I don't know what it is about Cory Booker. It seemed like he had a couple false starts. He's looking to try to recreate himself on the campaign trail. He's looking to get some enthusiasm of surrounding his campaign. You notice earlier this week he was one that took a hit at Joe Biden regarding the comments about the two segregationists that for some reason Joe Biden thought it was good to bring up at a fundraising event. I don't know why Joe Biden had to strut his stuff about how he's bipartisan by bringing up two of the most horrible people who have ever existed in the Republican Party, whose segregationist background, their hatred for black folks, their tenacious ability to be totally unsavory, bigoted, and hateful, inhumane, who thought that black people were subhuman. For some reason, Joe Biden thought it was a good time to bring those people up and to brag about working with them to pass segregationist legislation. I don't understand. But anyway, back to the point. Cory Booker was one of the people that called out Joe Biden. So Cory Booker is being more aggressive, and I expect him to be more aggressive tonight. Because either you're going to be aggressive or you're going to fold. Either be aggressive or go home. Because in order to raise money, you're going to have to show people that you can be a front runner. Or people are not going to give you a campaign just because they like you. So that's what I think about Cory Booker. Amy Klobuchar. For some reason, Amy Klobuchar considers herself to be the senator next door. Next door to what? I don't understand. I realize there's some people out there who value Amy Klobuchar, who think that to me, she's mediocre, she's milquetoast, she's in the middle. She likes it that way. It's been successful for her being from Minnesota. But to us more radical, more revolutionary type folks who want real substantive change, a person who's a candidate who doesn't support Medicare for all, doesn't support a $15 minimum wage or higher, a living wage, who does not support college, making college affordable or free college, free local college, who still thinks we need vouchers, like vouchers are going to incite people and trying to lower interest rates on college loans instead of wiping that crap out. I mean, how do you expect to get enthusiasm about your campaign when there's nothing radical at all about your policies? So Amy Klobuchar there was a show called The Wire, and in The Wire there was an episode where Stringer Bell told his guys, who was a gang, because he led a drug ring. He told his guys, I need you to go out there and make something happen. I need some excitement. And I'm paraphrasing. He said, I want I want you guys to go out and make something happen. And you come back to me with a 50-degree day. 50-degree day is nothing. That means nothing. If it's an 80-degree day, you know, people wash the car, they take the car out, they got on the shorts, they're hanging out on the street. If it's a cold day, then people are bundling up with their lady. They're home with their significant other, watching Netflix. But you gave me a 50-degree day. A 50-degree day is nothing. It's uninteresting. It's milquetoast. It's boring. It's unexciting. It definitely won't increase your donations. It won't increase the buzz surrounding your campaign. Amy Klobuchar, it's a 50-degree day. Got nothing against her personally. I don't know her. I don't know any of the candidates personally. Just the way I see it. Speaking of 50-degree days, Julian Castro. And I understand there are people who really like Julian Castro. I don't know why, but there's something about him they like, okay? I don't know too much about him, and I think that's what most people would say about Julian Castro. You know, I say there was some problems, some issues concerning the housing and urban development under his tenure. But there was also some problems under Sean Donovan, who was also Obama's guy. So there's been problems at HUD for quite some time, right? But I've yet to see what Julian is about or what's exciting about his campaign other than giving lip service to reparations. Now, that makes people's ears perk up if that's something that you're interested in. I'm interested in reparations, but I'm not interested in somebody using it just so that they can make the debates. I'm not interested in someone using it as a talking point who I've never heard really talk about it before. See, and that leads us to a whole nother issue, even concerning Elizabeth Warren. We talk about these folks. Like, where was all this legislation, all these great ideas, all of this radical ideas all this time? Like, why you been saving it? Now, we could say, other candidates such as Bernie Sanders, what have you gotten done? At least he's tried to get stuff done. I mean, all of a sudden now we come out the bag, everybody's got all this legislation. All I'm saying is, where you been? Why you been hiding it? Don't be like Biden and be hiding. Put it out there. It should have been out there. So it seems disingenuous when people such as Julian Castro all of a sudden start talking about black power when 2 minutes ago you was just taking pictures with your twin brother. I don't get it. And look, hey, if that's not the case, then somebody needs to prove me wrong, because I haven't seen anything. I'm still trying to figure out why Bill de Blasio is in this race other than to be annoying. He's the Howard Schultz of the Democratic Party. We know Howard Schultz is an independent. I think he dropped out, right? He pulled a hammy. Well, Bill de Blasio should pull a hammy as well. It's like Bill de Blasio talks a good talk about being progressive, but when it actually comes down to it, I don't think he is all that progressive. But what he is a showman. Recently on Twitter, he had this conversation, this public conversation, maybe it was on WhatsApp. Then Facebook buy WhatsApp. Anyway, he had a conversation with his son. Now, his son is a smart kid. He just graduated from Yale. He was on the 2015 state debate team. He's a debate champion, New York State debate champion. So he's a good debater, right? So de Blasio does this thing where they had this conversation back and forth, public conversation, that's, spontaneous, organic, not premeditated at all, right? Just, he's asking his son for advice on how to prepare for the debates. And it just didn't go over well, man. It's just something, some of this, like, I hate to say it, guys, but some of it is EQ. IQ is, your ability to process information, your thinking, your logic. But there's EQ, which is to know the temperature of the room, to be able to balance wavelengths and to be on the right frequencies. So I look at IQ as turning up the amplification, but the EQ is adjusting the bass and treble just right. And de Blasio always has a problem doing that. I'm maybe it's me. Maybe it's just I'm tuned into a different frequency. I would just think if you're going to run for president, you got to have something. Speaking of not having anything, John Delaney. Another guy, I have no idea why John Delaney is running. He's from my state of Maryland, but I never paid him any attention at all. John Delaney, up to this point, his claim of fame is being shut down by AOC. John Delaney, up to this point, his claim of fame is asking Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez to debate him about health care. He'll play the Republican and she can play the progressive. I would like to know in what world that benefits you at all, John Delaney. He's one of those people that feels like, oh, I just want to get publicity any way I can get it. Well, you know what? If you're Donald Trump and you're trying to run for president as an outsider, any publicity is good publicity. But if you're John Delaney in the Democratic Party and need people to be excited about your campaign, any publicity is not good publicity, especially when it paints you as a keeper of the old guard. When it paints you as someone who's against the more radical ideas that are within the Democratic Party, that really puts a harsh line of separation between Democrats and Republicans. And that's what the policies like Medicare for All do. John Delaney thinks it's enough to say we both want everybody to be covered. We just have different ways of going about it. Well, you know what? I'm tired of hearing people say we got different ways of going about it. Here's the way to go about it. Give everybody health care, damn it. That's the way to go about it. Explain to me why in a country that's the richest country in the history of countries, why we can't afford to give health care to our people, but other countries can, and then make that make sense to yourself, and then realize that our life expectancy is going down, cost of living is going up. Pharmaceutical industry, the insurance industries are sitting around counting money, and meanwhile, we're going in debt. The number one cause for foreclosure is medical bills. And we got John Delaney trying to make a name for himself going, we just can't do it. Slow down. Don't get so excited. We can't do it. We're not excited about you, and we're going to slow down on helping you run for president. That's what we're going to do, John. Jay Inslee is the governor of Washington State. First time I ever heard of him was this race. He wants to hang his hat on climate change. Okay. Good cause. Why haven't I heard of you? Why haven't more people talked about you? There's something missing. I don't know what it is. Great cause. Climate change. Most people are concerned about climate change to some degree or another. We finally got people off the idea of listening to Rush Limbaugh, regurgitating his talking points that it's just crooked conspiracy, scientific conspiracy theory, or something. Like most Americans agree that the climate change is a real thing. But for some reason, Jay Inslee can't get any traction on the topic. I don't know what it is. So, and I don't think that's going to happen tonight. Sucks to be him. Tim Ryan, okay? Tim Ryan comes across as an angry guy. But it's not the type of anger that makes people want to go, yeah! Up until now, the claim of fame for the Ohioan was that I think it was Cardi B mentioned his name once because she saw a clip where he was being tough. But for some reason, Tim Ryan can't get any traction. I don't know what it is. It's going to take more than just forceful rhetoric. It's going to take policies that line up with your forceful rhetoric. Now, Tim Ryan does come across as someone who's a working man's friend. A friend of the working man, a friend of the working woman, the friend of the working person. He comes across that way. But I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the fact that we don't all have the bandwidth to pay attention to people that don't really spark us. That's why first impressions matter so much. Because we don't have time, man. There's too many people up there. Too many people, right? But I think if you want to look out for somebody tonight, you look out for Tim Ryan. Yeah, because I think he has a way of projecting he can make a spark. Definitely. But where he disagreed with Elizabeth Warren enough on an issue where it can be genuine, and he can make his point made, or make his point, and also make it organic to the conversation. I don't know. Genuine, organic, sincere, real, enough to grab the viewers. I don't know. But once again, Tim Ryan is someone I think you should look out for. So here goes my predictions, y'all. I believe that Elizabeth Warren will win this thing walking away. I know there's no winners, no losers, really. But, hell, we're going to make some winners and losers because that's what we like, the analogy of winners and losers. I think Elizabeth Warren's going to take this and she's going to perform pretty well enough. I believe that Tulsi Gabbard's going to shine on the world stage. She's going to let people know more about her peace platform. And I think it's going to be attractive to a lot of people. They're going to be like, wow, a woman running who's a military vet, who been in Congress, who went against the Democratic Party because she believed in Bernie Sanders. That's enough. I mean, they've been doing their best to smother Tulsi Gabbard. I think tonight's the night they're going to dread. I believe the establishment's going to dread tonight because tonight Tulsi Gabbard will shine. I believe it. I'm speaking it into existence. I think it's going to happen. I believe, once again, that I think Tim Ryan's going to have a moment. I believe he's going to grab that moment and he's going to be punchy. He's going to be real. I believe that's going to happen. I think that Cory Booker's going to do okay. Those who I think are going to bomb are Bill de Blasio, John Delaney, Amy Klobuchar, Jay Inslee. Beto O'Rourke. How will Beto do today? Well, I know one thing. Beto O'Rourke, if he has any chance at all, he needs to step his game up. I think he's going to try to do that tonight. And instead of going into these long diatribes of rehearsed lines that I've heard him do before, he needs to keep it real and keep it short. I don't know if he's capable of doing that. I don't know. Too long-winded, too drawn out. I think he just needs to go direct. I don't know if he's capable of doing it. We'll see what he's really made of. All right, guys, I'm going to go jump in my comment section and see what people are talking about. But once again, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, MSNBC, NBC, Telemundo, also on the NBC website, you can catch the live stream of the debates. The debates are headlined tonight by Elizabeth Warren, Tulsi Gabbard, Cory Booker, Beto O'Rourke, Amy Klobuchar, Jay Inslee, Julian Castro, Tim Ryan. The list goes on. Jay Inslee, John Delaney, and who I left out? Gosh, I got everybody. What's hell? I got everybody. All right, guys, I'm looking forward to it. Let me check out my comment section. Who I got? And I got any super chats? Anybody make a comment? No super chat. Okay, Facebook. That was embarrassing. Facebook. Dolores, what's going on? Who do you think is gonna be a surprise tonight? Who's gonna surprise them and rock the house tonight, make a name for themselves in a big way, help their campaign in a huge way? Who's gonna do it, guys? That's the question. That is my question. Bruce Linnell says that Beto O'Rourke is in the depot. He's not going to get out tonight. I want to say this, and then Bruce said something about Beto's war tax, and it started. Let's just say it started with an F, and it wasn't friendly. Wasn't funny. Wasn't friendly. It wasn't the word friendly. Beto's war tax is a bad idea. But it's not the bad idea for the reasons I think people think it's a bad idea. I feel it's a bad idea because it doesn't say very plainly, hey, let's just stop going to war. His idea is that if there's a war tax, that the look, this is what I think. This is what happens. When you hear someone else's idea, we tend to put ourselves, we color our perceptions of anything with shades of ourselves. I said we color anything with shades of ourselves. So the way I perceive it is probably giving Beto more credit than he deserves. But this is what I think, guys. I think Beto O'Rourke expects the people to rise up and say, hey, I ran. I ain't paying for that. See, if you saw it on your deductions from your pay, I got a feeling a lot of people would rise up. That's the way I see it, but I don't know if it's true. Also, one thing you got to know about the corporate media. And you know me, guys. I'm not a big Beto O'Rourke fan. I made fun of him. I've called him Batman. I've called him Morris Day, the bird with the, said he was trying to take off like a bird. Right? But here's the thing. His plan, he released a plan that had 3 different prongs. One of those prongs was to end the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. No one's been talking about that pillar of his plan. See, he didn't just release war tax plan. It was like a three-pillared plan to address war. One of them was to bring all the troops home. No one's talking about that on cable news. They're not going to talk about that. That's too much like Tulsi Gabbard. All right? Maybe Beto's thought process and his team's thought process was, what if we were a little bit like Tulsi Gabbard, but not blackballed? How would that work out for us? So anyway, that's what I think. I got some super chat people. Dennis. Oh, I'm sorry, Denise. Denise gave a super chat. Thank you, Denise. I thought you had a comment, Denise. Tell me something, Denise. Notary says, thank you for the breakdown. I'm looking sharp today. Thank you, Notary. You know me. I try to get back to, this is me, baby. This is me. This is how I'm most comfortable. I feel I'm just going to be me. I'm just going to be me. So thank you for noticing. Thank you for the compliment. Everybody does what works for them. I'm hoping Tulsi Gabbard murders. David says he hopes Tulsi Gabbard murders. You know what? Like I stated, man, I think Tulsi Gabbard, she's in her wheelhouse. See, here's the other thing. Oh, God. I don't want to forget this. Bethlehem. Hold on, Bethlehem. Tulsi would destroy Warren. Tulsi would destroy Warren like she should, says Bethlehem. You know what, guys? I'm so glad you guys, put up the super chats. You slowed me down. You got me thinking. There's something I wanted to say, and I forgot to write it down. So thank you guys for reminding me. We're leaving somebody out. Yeah, I talked about Tulsi Gabbard. I talked about Elizabeth Warren and Beto O'Rourke and Cory Booker, Amy Klobuchar and Jay Inslee and Julian Castro and John Delaney and other people. Klobuchar said they're out. I talked about everybody, right? And, Tim Ryan. I talked about everybody, right? But you know who I didn't talk about? Who did I talk about, guys? Who's going to be just as powerful on that stage, more so than anybody else on that stage? Who did I leave out, guys? Come on now. Who did I leave out? Somebody knows this. Somebody knows I left somebody out, man, and that's a big disappointment. I left out somebody that's a big problem. Me forgetting this thing. It's a big thing. It's a ding on me. Who I leave out? Joseph. I left somebody out, Joseph. Who I leave out, Joseph? Joseph Ballin said they won't ask any questions about war or climate change. You were right there, Joseph. Give it up for Joseph, y'all. The moderators. I forgot to mention the moderators. In any event, the most powerful person is not the lead front runner. Elizabeth Warren could be the front runner. It don't matter. The most powerful person is the referee. The most powerful person is the referee. And if the referee decides, if MSNBC has decided what they want mentioned, what they don't want mentioned, then that sets the table. Now, you can still break out of it because you don't have to do what they tell you to do. I remember watching a debate, where, I think it was in 2008. I'm trying to remember who the candidate was. They asked a question, and he was like, oh, okay, I hear you. But I'll get to that. Listen. And they went and said what they needed to say. That's the type of tenacity, the type of, what's the word for it? That's the type of vicious, selfish, servant role you need to play if you want to make a dent tonight. You got to be willing to say, oh, I hear you. Oh, good question. I'll get to that. Hey, we need to stop bombing other countries. We need to end the drone attacks. We need to bring our troops home. Fix the water in Flint. Hey, those pipelines in the Dakotas, they burst. You do know that, right? Like, we need, if you want to break out tonight, you got to be willing to throw all caution to the wind and just go for it. That's the only way you nullify the effect of the moderators, because the moderators set the table. Who's willing to do that? Up until this point, the only person I think who's shown me that they do it is Tim Ryan. And I haven't even watched him that closely. And this is one of the dings I have on Tulsi Gabbard, because I think that's the way she should go. Forget being nice, forget being civil, call them out, because you can't let them hold you back. I look at it like this, guys. We're fighting for the world here. The United States is the most powerful country in the world. The European Union, hey, whatever we do, they follow suit. NATO, whatever we do, they follow suit. Who becomes the president of the United States? The tenor, the mentality of the country. If you are able to impact that, you can change the world. You can affect many, many millions of people. You cannot be worried about yourself. You cannot be worried about how you look. You can't be worried about if people are going to write bad articles about you. You got to be willing to go out there and stand up for all those people that aren't there. You are their voice. And if you are preoccupied thinking about yourself or even thinking about your future, you're going to miss your opportunity to shine. But see, that's how I think. That's what I believe. I know not everybody looks at life that way. I know not everyone says, this is not about me. This is about the moment. This is about the people I'm here for. Now, there are people that say they think that way. Where's your risk taken? Where's your risk taken if that's the case? I read an article where a mama picked the car up off her baby because the car fell. The car fell off the jack and fell on her baby, and she picked the car up. Where's your superhuman spirit, your superhuman strength when the time calls for it? It wouldn't just be words. You would actually demonstrate that superhuman ability that you have. If your mind is not wrapped up in you, see, it's a form of selfishness for people to be focused on themselves and not focused on the people. I pride myself on being a great communicator. I pride myself on being a great speaker. I'm better in person because I don't sit around thinking about how I look. I don't sit around thinking about all the words and they come out perfect. I want you to feel something. And if you feel something, I did my damn job. Now, tonight, somebody's going to have to make somebody feel something. If you go out on that stage and you don't make people feel something, you just want to check the boxes, well, you could be just like Amy Klobuchar, Cloud Boot Jar. You're going to be just like Jay Inslee. Who the hell? You're going to be just like Bill de Blasio or Bill Blasio. But if you want to come out shining, if you want to come out ahead, and if you want to make a real statement, you can't be worried about that. You can't be worried about anything else except your moment. Al Pacino said it in the movie, guys. Some people, when they're under pressure, they pop. Others, they execute. Execute. That's it, guys. I love you. Thank you so much for helping out the show. Thank you for contributing. Thank you for being here. I'm Real Tim Black on Facebook and Twitter. Find me on Instagram as Tim Black at Night. You can always email me at tim@timbblacktv.com. We will be going live after the debates tonight. Thank you so much to everybody who contributed to help get me a standing computer. I didn't get the computer, the major computer that I wanted. I didn't get the computer that I think most of my friends run on, but I got something. And I wouldn't have been able to do that if it weren't for you guys. So I want to thank you for standing in the gap and helping me get it done, guys. I love you. I appreciate you. I'll see you soon. Keep your head up. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, MSNBC, NBC, Telemundo, the NBC website, the first night of the debates. I'll talk to you soon. Oh, shout out to Tim Black's Wolfpack. You know who you are. Don't forget to join the Tim Black Wolfpack for just $5 a month. You can be a part of this. Believe me, we have a community. We care about each other. We know each other's name. It's something. We're building something. Become a part of it on patreon.com or on YouTube. I'll see you on the next one.